I have an honest question for you. Maybe I'm glazing myself a little bit. I'm assuming many of you work in a legitimate corporate environment. Struggle's not the right word. One of the themes in my thinking, especially over the past few years, is like search not the meaning of life, but searching for meaning in day-to-day life. The ever-present knowledge that one day you are going to die. So what do you want to do with the time that you have on Earth? And even, I think I work in a bizarrely meaningful job in the sense that I'm delivering like small batch bespoke entertainment direct from the farm to the consumer with only one middleman in the process who usually stays out of the way, except every once in a while they send me an email that's like, don't forget to drink water. But even still, sometimes I get like, 3 hours into a 5-hour stream and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? We should all be out like, I don't even know, like having a picnic or something. I'm not saying we need to live in the woods, but shouldn't we be like talking to each other and like figuring out what makes each other tick and telling jokes and eating food and stuff like that? But like, how do you not crash out constantly if your job is like selling? And I'm not picking on this because I think it's the most, bankrupt job of all time from a spiritually meaningful standpoint. But how do you not crash out constantly when you're like, I'm getting stressed out over like trying to sell software to another software company? I think I would have to like put the mic down in the middle of the presentation and be like, what are we doing here? We wrote some code. I'm now trying to sell you the code so that you can integrate the code to sell your code to customers or to another business. I don't know, man. Especially when you've been doing it for like, I don't even know, like 15, 20 years, man. It doesn't matter. Like it matters because you get paid and you could like, live your life with the money. But like, it's all a magic trick, right? That's crazy. Unfortunately, we're just the shadows on the wall, not the people casting the fire. I don't even know how to interpret that, but that sounds very deep. That sounds deep. We're the shadows on the wall, not the dude making the fire. That's crazy. That's Plato? Yeah, I'm familiar with the allegory of the cave. I'm just saying, like, that's a reference to the Are you the guy who calls? Okay, now I see how you don't crash out, because you focus on the day-to-day minutia of shit that pisses you off instead of always worrying about the bigger picture. I'm back. I'm recentered. Thank you for that. You brought me back. Are you the guy who calls out the reference? Hey, I know what that reference is. Yeah, we all know what the reference is, buddy. You're not the first dude to watch a video essay, okay? I guess mostly you're just concerned with lunch, which is actually, I think that's where the meaning of life comes in, man. It's not a big swing being like, here's my legacy. It's more like, how many burritos did you get to eat over the course of your life? And were you really tasting them, or were you just shoving them into your gullet while you were looking at your phone? Maybe there's an element of that, man. Maybe there's an element of that. Lunch it's goated. I still think it's the best meal. I think virtue signalers will say breakfast. Dinner's a classic. I'm not going to be mad at someone saying dinner's a classic. Brunch clears. We don't do that anymore. That's not true. On Saturday, we went to a Chinese restaurant that also serves all-day breakfast, and it was like a little bit dirty, and it had like 6 tables, and we paid cash and left a cash tip, and it felt good as fuck. It felt fucking amazing, man. It felt like going out for breakfast in like the year 2001. It took me right the fuck back, man. They hate your cash ass? They don't. I don't even want to say this because you're going to make it seem like this is why I did it and this is not why I did it. But when we gave a cash tip, the dude looked at me like I was insane. He looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Like he looked at the money and looked at me as if to say like, what is this? And I said, it's a tip. And he went, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, damn, is that really not like, people are not doing this anymore, man. For me, I love a cash tip, man. It does make you, it is Tony Soprano coded. I was a waiter 4 years ago. It was normal then. I still feel like it's normal, man. I just feel like, I don't know why people are so attached to just paying by credit card. I love paying by cash, man. It just feels good. I work in service. We love cash. I cash tip. They love it. Sorry. I forgot. Oftentimes on Monday, I forget chat is not necessarily... I'm not saying not real people. People keep assuming that I'm saying my chat is somehow... They're not real people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they're not representative of a normal sample of the population. It is a U.S. holiday. I forgot, man. Elaborate on that? It's Memorial Day. Oh, you mean elaborate on chat not being a representative sample of society? Well, I was just in Apollo's chat for like 20 minutes, and then like they were arguing about whether aliens would be benevolent or malevolent, and the like people's feelings were genuinely getting hurt. And then I just got off from a weekend where I was talking with people my own age about like, you know, restaurants and like how our kids are doing in school and stuff like that. Like, so that's what I mean when I say it's not a representative sample necessarily. And I'm probably not a representative sample either, but you got to find a balance somewhere, you know, in the middle. You don't want me to crash out on the alien stuff. I've said it before. People whose entire education is video essays are like, you would have to be stupid to think that we're the only intelligent life in the universe. And then you just, you blow the argument out of the water. You just say, you at them with their username, and then you say, source? And then they go, there's billions of galaxies with billions of stars in them, each one of which can have dozens of planets. So you go, source? Evidence? Any evidence for that? Oh, you really think that a quadrillion is not a big number? Like they start appealing to generalities. I'm not saying there's not aliens. I'm just saying, like, I don't think you're an idiot for believing that there are or there aren't until, you know, one of them says, take me to your dealer. That's all I'm saying. Plus, you never know. Maybe their fucking heckin' big chonker planet is so huge they can't get their lard-ass rockets to escape velocity or something. Who knows, man? I was there. No one responded to you when you asked for source? Well, they did respond. You can go back. I believe one of them said my ass, which is actually something I think that's a valid argument. It's so fucking funny to have this tab still open, man. Places. She said something like that, right? Fuck, marry, kill. George Bush, George H.W. Bush, Kate Bush. I would... Not me trying to figure out what's the least misogynist option. Arranged marriage with Kate Bush. Murder seems like probably the worst. I don't even want to touch on the other one. I guess I'll just abstain from answering the question. So I'd probably marry Bush Sr.? I don't know, man. I got to think about that one. That's tough. He's dead, bro? Yeah, I'm on that Anna Nicole Smith grind. The kids these days understand that reference? No, not really. She was a Playboy playmate who married a dude that was like 91 years old because he was rich. And then he died. And then they were like, you can't have his money. So she had to fight in court. And she like never got the money. That's bullshit? Yeah, man, I agree. She should have gotten the money. She only married him for the money. Well, why do you think he married her, you stupid motherfucker? It's a business arrangement. They didn't honor the contract. They had a shared agreement, man. They met, they stated their terms, and they signed on the dotted line. That's Mary Lynn Rakshub. She's in a lot of stuff. She's in Mr. Show. That's Stanley Tucci, bro. Stanley Tucci, Joaquin Phoenix. Inherent Vice? Doesn't look like Inherent Vice. Amy Adams? Don't worry, he won't get far on foot. That's a younger Amy Adams. When is this the Master? Is this the Matrix? Julie and Julia? Maybe that wasn't Joaquin Phoenix. This is Julie and Julia, bro. I'm realizing that actually might be Meryl Streep. But doesn't this look like Joaquin Phoenix's character from Inherent Vice, or am I insane? It does. Thank you. It does. It does. It's not a bit. Imagine what Joaquin Phoenix looks like in Inherent Vice. So imagine him head on. Then place the camera inside of your head and rotate yourself to like just behind his back left. Just behind his left ear. 100% I see Joaquin Phoenix right here. Where's the beard? It's been a while since I've seen the movie, to be honest. Also, I watched it on a plane, and I was like, this is boring. It's Probably not even a bad movie, but when you want to be distracted on an airplane, it was the wrong vibe. That was a selection issue on my end. That is Kevin Costner and Hilary Swank. I'm so back. Following a family of prehistoric creatures known as the Sinclairs, this show was known as Dinosaurs. I'm the baby, gotta love me. You know that one? That's a classic. What else does that baby say? Not the mama, not the mama. Yeah. Sorry, I have to get this message in before all the video essay Andys start topping. Before all the video essay Andys start talking. It's the danger of coming up with new sentences is that it's easy to get them wrong. We're like T-minus 30 seconds away from people saying, yeah, it was a kid's show, but the finale was one of the most devastating finales that's ever been put on television. I was -9 when it aired, but seriously, like you couldn't have a television finale like that these days. Okay, bitch, watch The Curse. They hit the father on the head with a frying pan. You're right. They should not have been doing that, man. It normalized domestic violence. Gummy worm. Gummy. Something you might call your grandma. No judgment, by the way. We call my grandpa Bumpies. I don't even know why, man. He sounds like a modern Jackass character or something like that. But I don't really know if there's like a Jackass stunt that's like, hey, I'm Bumpies, and this is like the drink a bottle of wine and play games on Pogo.com challenge. He had fun, though. He had fun. A towel. Something you wear getting out of the bath. I think it's time to take a chance on this. Okay, so hose is lingerie. We take those. Sheet, pillowcase, towel, washcloth. This is like linens. Maybe I'm stupid. Items in a linen closet. Joker, din, gummy fridge. I actually have no idea. Card games with the first letter change. All right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. What's din supposed to be? Gin, bro. Gin rummy or whatever. One of those games that like old people play. You're going to say, old people don't play it. I played it with my Nona in Milwaukee, Wisconsin in 1991. You just proved my point, buddy. Dude, rum only goes crazy in Manitowoc County Thanksgiving. Yeah. I know, man. I know. I don't know how to play it, but I bet it's fun. They're all just means to an end so you can, have some fun times with your family. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why you're being defensive. They do sound like some shit Anna Nicole Smith played with her ex-husband. They're making a murderer tea. You see this tea? Season 3 of The Sopranos when Chris Moltisanti thinks that Polly Walnuts is going to shoot him, so he gets ready to grab his Derringer, and then Polly Walnuts reaches in the back seat and pulls out the Billy Big Mouth singing bass. Billy Big Mouth singing bass. Polly Walnuts pulls out the Billy Big Mouth singing bass. Billy Jockey. The Shaka Organic Sona Masuri rice, 20 pounds. I feel like I'm an AI being trained to speak English. The Shaka Organic Sona Missouri rice, 20 pounds. 20 pounds? I'm going to say it's $21.99. Anyways, $1 a pound. That's so cheap, man. That's so cheap. 16 bucks for 20 pounds of rice? It's rice, bro. Yeah, but you guys are the motherfuckers trying to tell me vinegar is expensive when it's literally cheaper than water. You can't get shit for like 70 cents a pound, man. That's amazing. How much rice, VIP Daniel, are you here? How much rice do they get per day on Survivor, man? Like the catering budget on Survivor's got to be crazy. They probably buy like 3 of these bags per season and then like 1 meal from Applebee's. Catering budget is like $75. I guess they got to fly the Applebee's out to like Vanuatu or whatever. Probably you think DoorDash is expensive. I got Uber Eats Plus. It's called, maybe it is. No, it's called Uber One, buddy. Okay? Stop LARPing. You're not a real bedrotter. What percent of r/am I overreacting posts do you think are fake? Of the ones that make it to the front page and then get served to me, I'm going to say over 50%. I think the subreddit is fully compromised, yeah. There are some where I'm like, it's one of those weird things where it's like you can smell the fakeness when the more it confirms a narrative that you have. Like, for example, I would be very suspect of an "Am I overreacting" post that started with like a 20-year age gap in the title and then had the boyfriend being like a total piece of shit. But then there are some where like when the body of the text seems fake, it makes the whole post seem more real. Like there's some on there that now and then they make me shake my head. There's a lot of boyfriends and girlfriends out there calling their partner like really, really bad names and saying like, "Don't talk to me ever again." And I'm like, you can't be texting your boyfriend or girlfriend of like 4 years like, "Don't talk to me ever again." That's insane, man. That's crazy. That's sad. It's sad and funny. Because there are some where I'm like, it also highlights the difference between being like 36 and being 17. Because sometimes there are teenagers that are like, "Am I overreacting?" And I'm like, "No, you're not overreacting. Your boyfriend's in the 11th grade and he called you like a slur. That's not overreacting. That's not normal, man. That doesn't happen in like a middle-aged relationship. If it does, you wouldn't be going to Reddit. You would be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" That's insane. You're the president of France, let her go? A fellow Faux Moi poster, I see. When Kermit the Frog and the Rizzler, Therizzler, that'd be a movie. That'd be a movie. When Kermit the Frog and the Rizzler. You think there's like, I'm laying conversational caltrops for you. You think AJ is resentful that the Rizzler has become the most popular figure to result from the rise of the Costco guys? Everyone's going, yeah, yes. I don't think so. Everything I've seen of AJ, he seems like a good dad who would be happy just to have had his 15 minutes of fame and then also wishes the Rizzler well. He seems, I don't know. I'm not saying he is a good guy, but I'm saying I've never seen anything except for that one behind the scenes video where he's like a little bit heavy-handed with the direction, but he hasn't had his David O. Russell moment. Let's put it that way. I like to see the good in people. Not the mama. I think he's like the Professor X of the Italian-American X-Men. Yeah, I can see that. I'm just picturing him in my head. It is, you're right, it is strange that the biggest guy is called AJ and then his smaller son is called Big Justice, but I think that's part of the fun. Paddington to Karate Kid Legends. This is a real movie? Because, like, this is Ralph Macchio. I'm pretty sure that's Jackie Chan, man. And I don't know who this is, but the poster looks... It's new! I thought this poster was from, like, 1998. It's a movie that comes out this year. They really won't let the 80s die. I know Cobra Kai was actually good, okay? I didn't watch it because I don't have the nostalgia for the Karate Kid, but I know that people like Cobra Kai. But we gotta let it go, man. I can't be going to the multiplex in fucking 2027 and there's like a new Ghostbusters movie, okay? We got the 80s, there was the whole 10 years of the 80s, and then we're living in like year 8 or 9 of 80s nostalgia, okay? Can we at least start regurgitating from like a different cultural era? Can we go to the 90s or even back to the 70s or something? Just wait till it's 2000s revival? Well, at least it'll be not the 80s, man. Like, it's crazy. I wasn't even alive in the 80s the first time, but like, I feel like I've lived through them twice. I guess I was alive for like 13 months or whatever, but what am I doing? I didn't even think of a possible line. Is that Jackie Chan? That's Jackie Chan, bro. And Joshua Jackson and Ming-Na Wen. Okay, well, that's actually like insanely easy then. I just got to figure out who the fuck is in Paddington. Nicole Kidman? I can live with that. I remember that. Okay, so it's going to be like Ming-Na Wen, Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within. And then we're trying to get to Nicole Kidman. That's easy, man. Ving Rhames, Mission Impossible, Fallout, Tom Cruise, Eyes Wide Shut, Nicole Kidman, Paddington. Boom. 44 seconds. That's not too bad. I knew Ming-Na Wen was an integral part of this, man. Haters will say she didn't play Aki Ross in the 2001 film Final Fantasy The Spirits Within, but real ones know, man. That movie was ass? Yeah, pretty bad. James Woods was in that too. Kind of shit you think James Woods and Donald Sutherland and Alec Baldwin were talking about on the set of Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. Chomping it up with Ming-Na Wen and Steve Buscemi. Explain why you know what that movie is and who was in it. Okay, I saw it when it came out because I was a nerd and I was like 12 years old. Is that a good enough explanation for you? Explain to me why you know so much shit about Pathologic 2 even though you never played it. This has got to be like a Yakuza game or a Persona game. It is a Yakuza game. It's probably Yakuza 6. I'm a god of Yakuza. That's the Necro Dancer, man. The Crypt thereof. Crypt of the Necro Dancer. Look at that. Hardcore Geschaft. Crypt of the Necro Dancer. I'm not making fun of them. I literally, like, it's my job. But the avatar is so... That's so real, man. The avatar is so real. Artwork, please. Donkey Kong. It's a Donkey Kong game. Probably Tropical Freeze. That's easy enough. No games look like that. It's like the Willem Dafoe of games. John Wick, they make one of those. Momodora Reverie Under the Moonlight. Just like to type it because it's typing mommy. Was made with an in-house engine, but that was 98. Nice try, Unk. And side view elements. Third person isometric side view elements. This is gonna sound crazy. How about Lemmings? No, that's definitely on the PC. It's from the N64, man. Or like maybe the Sega CD or something. Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins was a game. Yes! We get the platform! We bring the boom! Okay. Now that maybe the one-time clue gives us a chance. It's a single player and multiplayer fantasy game on the Game Boy. And the 3DS. Damn, I dead ass have no idea. But it's a multiplayer side view isometric art. It's like Pokemon Fire, Pokemon Red. What? Pokemon Blue? Yeah! Okay, that required a lot of problem solving. That was deductive reasoning. Holy cow, man. And you know what enabled it? Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 golden coins. People don't remember. That's not even the right song. I can picture the theme in my head now. I'm not going to play it. Koji Kondo actually got like a great legal team, but...
Temerity. A noun
love
meaning...
it. One of my favorite words, temerity.
Alpaca. A noun meaning...
Yeah, if I got that one wrong, we'd be in trouble.
Hyssop. A noun meaning a plant used in purificatory sprinkling rites by the ancient Hebrews. Aesop comes from Middle English, Old English, Latin hyssopus, Greek hyssopos, and Semitic. Hyssop.
All right, we got hyssop wrong. It's not pissop.
Exile. A noun.
That one's a joke.
Aesopian. A adjective meaning of relating to or characteristic of Aesop or his fables.
Makes perfect sense. Aesopian.
Demurrage. A noun meaning the detention of a ship by the freighter beyond the time.
That's not demurrage!
Conurbation. A noun meaning an aggregation or continuous network of urban communities. The word originates from the combination of com and Latin urb, meaning city. Conurbation. A noun meaning an aggregation or
Damn, I got my ass beat, man. Herbation. Herb. Conurbation. Demurrage. Hyssop. At least they brought the heat today, man. She literally mentioned urban origins. You're my favorite kind of backseater. Is a guy who like waits till he sees that the streamer got it wrong and then types why they're wrong instead of typing it in advance. And then you're probably going to double down and be the second version of that guy, my favorite subtype, which is, well, if I typed it before, it would have been spoilers. You know I'm not reading chat because you're also the same type of guy that types, well, if I typed it, you wouldn't have read it anyway. You're three different types of guys that I love, so don't change anything about yourself. You should not look inwards and re-examine your behavior and how it affects those around you. Now! Okay, take me to thrice. Just for that, we're getting 15 on thrice, okay? The Ambassador Bridge connects the biggest city in Michigan to what 10th biggest city in Ontario? Windsor? Next question, please. So far, so good. Who starred as Walter Young in the 1961 film version of Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun? Okay, that's tough, man. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Who's that guy? He's a Fonda. Maybe like Peter Fonda? Henry Fonda? Henry Fonda? Only nominated twice in his venerable career, who became the first black Best Actor Oscar winner for his adaptation of William Edmund Barrett's Lilies of the Field? Sidney Poitier. Yes! Okay, well, 14. 14 is still in the cards for us here. The coat of arms of Guyana is supported by two of what big cat? Jaguar. It's a South American cat! We go! According to Vogue in 99, what then 18-year-old model heralded the return of the curve? Oh, Gisele Bündchen! Gisele Bündchen! The world's top-earning model was what, Brazilian? Okay, we can still get 12. That's pretty good. Ken's Italian dressing comes from a namesake Massachusetts restaurant in the early 40s. What rival brand comes from a namesake KC restaurant in the late 40s? Hidden Valley? The Venn diagram of football formations and people who performed on the crossroads overlaps at what Thanksgiving word? Okay, so the crossroads. I'll see you at the crossroads so you won't be lonely. I'll see you at the crossroads so you won't be lonely. That's Bone Thugs and Harmony. Bone Thugs and Harmony has Crazy Bone. And I'm gonna miss everybody. I'm gonna miss everybody. I don't know, man. Because what the hell is a Thanksgiving word in Bone Thugs and Harmony? Maybe wishbone? Wishbone? Holy fuck. So I do not understand how to like triangulate in any of the geographic games. But if you give me 3 data points in a trivia game, I think I could find the negative space created around the clues. I didn't even know Wishbone was a dude in Bone Thugs and Harmony, but I know they're all named something Bone. And then Wishbone is a Thanksgiving word. 12 points is actually, that's an incredible thrice, man. Ken Bone. I have a lot of disrespect for Ken Bone. He's entitled to his opinion. Being an undecided voter in the 2016 election is, you may want to look in the mirror and examine whether or not you consider yourself the type of person that you want to be. Like, that's crazy. To go on TV and be like, yeah, I haven't figured it out yet. They're so close. It's really hard to tell, man. It's really hard to tell. People thought it was awesome. They were like, look, a fat guy in a sweater. He's really just like us. A fat guy in a sweater who can't decide who to vote for. It's the distillation of the country down to a single individual. We loved it, man. Wasn't it 2012? I'm pretty sure it was 2016, man. I don't know. Life comes at you fast. It is 2016. Joe the Plumber was 2012, right? 2012 was Joe the Plumber, who was also like, I can't decide. It is strange how all the undecided voters... Justin, I think you're going to love this one. Isn't it funny how all the famously undecided voters end up deciding to vote Republican? Joe the Plumber, I'm pretty sure that he voted... I'm not sure if it was 2008 or 2012, but Joe the Plumber definitely famously was like, I'm going to vote for John McCain or Mitt Romney. And I believe that Ken Bone was like, in the end, I ended up voting for Trump. Now, it's only 2, but this is where you then say it's surprising it's happened twice. I'd only have 2 nickels, but it's surprising that it's happened twice. I believe it's a reference to some kind of cartoon. Ken Bone went for Clinton. All right, never mind. That pokes a serious hole in my thesis, but it is still fun. If it had went down the way that I said it went down, it would have been funny. Sort these parts of the human body given their name in Spanish from the top to the bottom on the body. Your ojos are definitely your eyes, and your lengua is your tongue. And then this is where things get interesting. Because I do not know Spanish. I feel like pies is your feet. I'm just going to send it like that. Oh, shit. Okay. It makes sense. It's like almost French. And then English. I don't even know what that would be, to be honest with you. Because I don't know French very well either. Let's just try that. Groin. That's actually like a surprisingly not horrendous result for me in disorderly, but it was basically all luck. Catch me sniffing the pies on the windowsill? I know that's right, man. You guys think Polly Walnuts was kind of out of line for sniffing Adriana's panties? And then when Tony confronts him over it, he says they're not even married yet? I mean, Polly, I think you're missing the point. Polly, you haven't done anything else in the series so far that I would criticize at all. But on that, I think you're in the wrong on that one, freaky ass unk. Nah, he's chilled though. He's chill. Nah, not really, but you know, it's all right. It was the 90s or whatever. Things were different then. Play the daily. That's what we do. This looks fucking good, man. It does look expensive. Well, now that I looked at it for more than 2 seconds, I'm like, it doesn't look that good. I gotta say, the spring rolls, they look all right, but they also look like they're 50 cents. I think I might have to go with that. All right, I'm an idiot. Turns out I'm stupid. This looks really bad. These look a little too decadent, but we'll still take that. That was right. I just highlighted it for some reason. Currywurst doesn't lose. This does look all right, but the currywurst doesn't lose, man. It lost! My rules are falling apart. Shit with shit on it. Sausage and chips with curry sauce at a middle school football game. Or chicken and chips with a ketchup and mayo mixed sauce. I don't know, man. I think I'd rather probably eat the chicken, I guess. I wouldn't be giving it 93%, but horseradish and red onion on bread that looks like it's from Resident Evil 2. Or lamb keema fries. I'd probably go with the keema fries on that one. Lunchbox really does not lose in this game. I feel very comfortable taking Lunchbox in almost every situation. It's got to be duck-loaded fries. They're serving us a little bit of like a softball today, even though I got 2 wrong. It's going to be katsu curry. Can anyone tell me what the fuck is going on here? So katsu curry is Japanese food. And then served with it, we have French fries, samosas, and naan bread. Like, what's going on, man? It's like every type of world cuisine mashed into one. What the hell is this, man? This is like a chili sauce or something? Okay, this is where you're going to get mad at me. This is just not a conceivable food to eat. It's just too much shit. If you arrange it differently on the plate, I think I could eat it. The sausage, although unwieldy, is easier to eat because it has a means to hold it while consuming it. You can tell it will not fall apart when you take a bite. But I'm playing to win Scrandle, not to signal which food I would like to eat. I feel like people would rather eat this, and that's everything wrong with society these days. I mean, if we're being honest, it looks like a pretty good steak. It looks like it's going to be annoying as fuck to eat with this plastic cutlery. I think I would probably go with that, though. Plastic knife is like so embarrassing, man. Why is it served on a paper towel? Because it's not financially viable to treat adults with dignity anymore. And the most messed up part is that most adults are like, that's fair. 6-letter word that contains OP? Cooper. No, I can't believe that. I got one. Now I was gonna say I can't believe that it got 1.35%, which is high for the record. But then I looked in chat and everyone was saying pooper. So fair enough. Contains EL. Relativistic. What? Oh, it's got to be 6 letters. Elemis. I just took a unicorn away from someone. You're going to say, what the fuck is Elemis? I don't know, but it's the brand of shit that the masseuse tries to sell you on a Disney cruise after you're already like $180 in for the massage. And then you say, my wife already got it. Yeah. And then they say, no, she didn't. We have her purchase record. And you go, ooh. Contains CE. Celium? Not a real word. Figured I'd just take a look at it. Also 7 letters. Might be a real word. How about cilium? Cilias. Does not contain an A, an I, or a U. But it contains an O and a P. I mean, pooper qualifies, man. Oh. I thought I was outsmarting the game. I thought they were gonna be like, no one's ever thought of that before. No one's ever treated the question like a riddle and come up with the obvious answer. 0.63 is not so bad, though. Like the river? Yeah, the river or like the Teletubby or whatever. Relentless. I can live with that. Contains CE but no AI or U. Cerebellum. That has a U. Cerebrum. That has a U. Silo. That has every letter you're not allowed to use. Cilium. It's too easy is the problem. Scenefully. No. Scene. Are you really going to type scene? Cut scene? No, that's not. Scenic. No. So let's do scene. That's embarrassing, though. Contains OP and ends with R. Oppressor. That seems to be it's 2 P's. That seems to be a common one in this game. Oppressor. EL ends with R. Hellar? EL. Like... Holler. No, man, no. Helper. That's right. Helpers doesn't end with an R. Wow, this is like an embarrassing one today, man. Contains CE and ends with R. I don't know why I keep going back to Celium. Acer. It's a laptop brand. Don't even talk to me about this. I don't even want to see my statistics, man. My rarity is rarer than 28% of the grids. Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Fish soup. I would eat the fuck out of this. Haddock soup? I got to assume it's from the United Kingdom, man. And I would yum the shit out of that. You guys are actually babies. You are babies, bro. 68% of people would eat fish and potato soup. Embarrassing, man. It's the return of Cullen Skink. You're right, man. This was you? Well, the picture looks good here. The one on Sporkle looked fucking gross, man. This is, Huedapap. You know what I'm realizing? We're figuring out what percentage of the population is babies that just won't eat fish. Looks so dry. Yeah, it's not at all. The fish is moist, and then also it has like a sauce on it. Shredded cabbage and tomatoes. Buddy, you got to go back to food school. Okay, they said it's tomatoes. They said the fish was tomatoes. The hell is this, man? Oblivion food? Lembas bread? An almond cake characterized by its dense, moist texture. This is Austria, man. Parte de Santiago. Catalonia? Spain? Can I ask a question about Spain with no disrespect? And then I genuinely mean this with no disrespect. Everybody who has been to Spain and talks about it says it's amazing. Why is Spanish food not proliferated in North America to the same degree as French and Italian foods. We have tapas, and you might be able to find like paella or something like that, but like where... Did we ask this before? Yeah, because people are saying there's not as much Spanish diaspora. I just can't. There's just too many people theory crafting their answers. There's that for me to see the one person typing the real answer. Italy is because of mass immigration to the U.S. I would agree with that. Guy who doesn't have any clout on this subject at all, I would agree with that. But then France, there was a lot of French immigration in North America. I will say there's a ton of of like German and like Nordic immigration in North America, but you really don't see that many German or Swedish restaurants around. Is it possible that maybe you guys have cyberbullied them into thinking that their food is not good when actually it's awesome? Not true, go to Iowa. I'm beefing with Iowa. Someone who lived in Iowa posted on the subreddit that I didn't know shit about America because I said that like you can drive across all of Iowa in 2.5 hours, and they're like, it's literally a 9-hour drive. Wolfram Alpha, hey Grok, real quick, how many Iowas can fit inside of British Columbia? Literally my province mogs you. I don't even know how far you have to drive north to get out of British Columbia. Like you might have to drive so far that like they're still building the roads up there. It never ends, bro. It literally never ends. You might have to take a dog sled. 99% of your province's population lives in Vancouver. Yeah, that's why it's goated here, man. We still only got like 2 German restaurants or something. Your entire population lives within 100 kilometers of the border? Yeah, and your entire population lives like 25 blocks from a Ross Dress for Less. You don't hear me complaining about it. You know, take that shit up with your fucking city planners, bro. I don't have any control over that kind of malarkey. Okay, it's kind of hard golf, all right? You ready for this? I'm going to stay a little bit more zoomed in today. Horrendous start, man. Hold. That's a big one. No! We're chill. We hold on those. Sometimes slow is fast in this game, man. Yeah, we take those any day of the week. Beautiful, beautiful feathering. I'm trying to zoom out, excuse me. That's my bad, I didn't know how the mechanics worked. Probably one of the greatest shots I'll ever land in this game. We take those. Beautiful. Oh, it doesn't get any more beautiful than that. Back to formula. Okay, back to formula. Back to formula. We'll go back to formula real quick. We'll take the same shot 7 times in a row. We'll go back to formula. Go back to formula real quick. We'll try to be a little bit more aggressive now. That's going to take us back to formula. Oh! Do it again. Back to formula. That one was even worse. Tough. This is a tough shot, man. Hold it right there. It can't be done, man. It can't be done. Okay. Friction's my goat. When slowing down is the vibe. We're going down. Oh, we're holding. Like Caulfield. Oh! Okay, at least you're landing there. The feather touch. Like Shannon Sossamon in 40 Days and 40 Nights. That's huge for a fella like me. Okay. Little too much. Little too little. They misrepresented the game. This is not kind of hard golf. This is like pretty fucking tricky golf. I'm thinking that the semi-conservative setup shot might be something important to put in the toolbox for the future. Like a little piece of tech to return to when the kind of hard golf championships come about. Like, that's a beautiful shot, bro. I can actually live with that. Like, that was a really hard course today. I'm going to say it's a 35-degree angle. I'm boiling, bro. Let's try 37. Ah, shit. I'm going to go all the way up to 40. You got to try 45. Hot. 38. Ah! Angle's really tough, bro. 1977 fantasy novels based on the Book of Genesis. That's got to be the Silmarillion, bro. Oh, shit. 20th century American classical composers, 21st century American classical composers, 1937 births. Okay, Baltimore City College alumni, American people of Lithuanian Jewish descent, musicians from Baltimore, musicians from Pittsburgh, Virgin Records artists, Tibetan Buddhists from the United States, living people, musicians from Pittsburgh, converts to Buddhism. Philip Glass. Yes! It was between you and Steve Reich, okay? I don't know anything about either of you really, but we take those. Philip Glass is he's the percussion guy, right? And Stephen Reich is like the music for 52 musicians or whatever. How do you know these names? When you open your eyes, the light comes in, man. 1835 nonfiction books, 1840 fiction books, American political philosophy literature. France, United States relations, modern philosophical literature, sociology books, works by Alex de Tocqueville. I have no idea, man. Democracy in America. I'll be honest, I don't read fiction. 1980s fads and trends, 1984 quotations. Where's the beef? That's a given. Comedy television characters, fictional guitarists, David Brent. I was thinking about that when I was doing the dishes this weekend. Hot love on the hot love highway. The road is free, but the highway's long. Talking about free love on the free love freeway. Coming in fast cause my baby's gone. He's dead. He's not dead. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, probably not. I don't know shit about art, dude. 20th century art with Henri Matisse. Painting. Fauvism. 1854 establishments in South Africa. 1902 disestablishments in South Africa. Former countries in Africa. Rhodesia. The Orange Free State. That's gotta be, can I get some points? I must have been as close as you can get without being right. 1600s fantasy novels. Damn, dude. Novels adapted into, this is fucking Don Quixote. I mean, that's a given. Guy from Ohio that spells Don Quixote with a J. Listen, all the world's indeed a stage and we are merely motherfucking players, okay? Let's slash marker this. I almost slash markered in the browser bar. Call that slash marker. That's the dulls. We'll play some Nine Kings. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go pee. Motherfucker. Sorry, it's been living rent-free in my head for like 4 days. Motherfucker. Now he's being an asshole. I'm a very spooky guy. Anyway, you get the idea. They 05. I was there, man. This is like Hips Don't Lie, Danny California type stuff. Asher Roth, I Love College. Hang on, I'm covering chat with my hand. This is Jason Mraz. This sounds like Jason Mraz, but I'm covering chat with my hand so I can look and see if the audio is on so you guys can hear it. It is, okay. I feel like I'm Yours had not come out at this point. Let's call it I Won't Give Up. It's Daniel Powter's Bad Day. Same shit. Yeah, okay. We take those. Oh, 100% I'm gonna know that. The hell did that trombone come from, man? That ain't a damn piano. Horrible song. Yeah, horrible song. What's weird, Daniel Powter must be Canadian, because I swear to God, I was hearing this shit. Anyone here ever listen or ever watch NTV, the Newfoundland Television Network? But in between TV shows on the Newfoundland Television Network, they would play music videos by Canadian artists. I think I got like a 2-year early preview of Bad Day. And then eventually, like, it went globally viral or something like that. It might have taken a few years. Culture moved a little slower back then. Because I was like familiar with this song before it became super popular. And that's not me being a hipster. If anything, it's me sharing trauma with you because I've been subjected to this for a long ass time. Canadian culture, beautiful and fascinating. Literally, Stephen Harper said we need our own James Blunt. The Canadian James Blunt program. It was a roaring success, to be honest with you, because look what happened. I ask you don't come, you tell me don't lie. I'm bad as a bowman, I let it die. You had a bad... I do like the part where he goes, had a bad day. You know, like not when in... I think it's in the final chorus, they do like a little modulation on that part. I see what you like. He gets a little bluesy with it. One more time, you had a bad day. Not so bluesy as to be like intimidating though, for sure. Ah, this is pure ass. Yep. Love that, man. Yeah, shit from ass. Yep. It's shit from ass, I'm afraid. Nobody's fucking with this song. Every time I say some shit about Owl City, people are like, hey, open your DM request. I got something to say to you. It's like this, to me, this, Hey There Delilah, everything by Jason Mraz, everything Jason Mraz has ever done, and Owl City are basically like, that's the Mount Rushmore of music from my teenage years that sucks ass. But they're going to need to steal a lot more hills if we're going to start carving artists who I hate, okay? So let's not even go down that road. Except for Fireflies? No, man. If Ben Gibbard and Jimmy Tamborello were the Postal Service, Owl City is spam emails, okay? That shit would have gone crazy on Pitchfork in like 2006. What's your favorite band? I don't want to tell you because you'll piss me off. You're going to say some shit like you don't like them. Justin still, I don't know if you're here, Justin. Can we see if he's here? He's not here or he's on Invisible. He's still crashing out. Oh, he's here! I can't tell the story anymore. I'm going to tell this story. Justin was crashing out, a millennial crashing out in the Discord over the Velvet Underground stuff still. He was telling I don't know if it was your trainer or your tattoo artist, that you were like, chat was roasting me for not knowing the Velvet Underground, and then they said, I'm going to stop you right there, shitty, boring band. And I had to come to Lou Reed and fucking Maureen Wood's defense in the Discord and say, listen, man, you can't use that as justification. They're a good band, okay? They're a good band. They might be, like, they're a little aged, but they were very influential for experimental music. At the same time that the Beatles were going, I Want to Hold Your Hand, the Velvet Underground were doing some BDSM shit, okay? Seminal doesn't always mean good. Yeah, but we're talking about, like, real shit, not speaking in vague generalities here. Like, they have 4 albums, and they're all good. Even the one where they sold out is good. You don't have to like them. Also, Justin, you don't have to like them. I just think it's the beef between you and the Velvet Underground. I want to squash the beef, man. We got to bury the beef. Here, we're going to bury the beef right now. Here, I'm going to sing some Velvet Underground shit for you. Here, and you got to listen to the whole thing. And it's just going to be me and you, and I'm going to make eye contact with you the whole time. She'll build you up just to put you down. What a clown, 'cause everybody knows. You guys need to sing the chorus. Knows the things she does to please. She's just a little tease. See the way she walks. It's working, man. My beef feels worse now. Yeah, well, how about... It's squashed. You said squashed. Okay, beef squashed. We're chilling. Because we were about to bust out some fucking, like, I don't know. We were about to do all of the 8-minute song Heroin from memory. But I don't remember some shit that he starts talking about some unk stuff. He's like, I wish I'd been on a great big clipper ship. And I'm like, buddy, you live in New York. Chill out, man, with the LARPing. Lou Reed on a fucking clipper ship in the age of exploration? I don't think so, bitch. Put the rock and roll in the bag, buddy. Does this scratch the sap itch? I have to ask you some honest questions. I hope you won't take offense to them. Does Teamwood Games have like a street team? Because there's been a lot of SAP discussion lately. And they all do, and I'm guilty of seeing patterns where they don't exist. They all write their comments in the same way. Like, oh man, like apropos of nothing at all, it would be sick. Lately I've really been missing SAP. And maybe it's just cosmic radiation or something like that. But like, the narrative, you have to look at the integral, not just the derivative. SAP is at a low for me narratively right now, but it was riding high for like 2 or 3 years, man. People were like, I'm so sick of SAP. Whenever I would put on SAP, they would post the same stuff that they post when I put on the Bazaar now. SAP got it got glazed, man. It got glazed in a big way. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's time for it to take a little rest, at least for the time being. You fucking with Wingstop? Can I be real with you, playa? I've never been to either of the big chicken wing international chains. I've never been to Buffalo. I've never been to Wingstop. I always thought Wingstop was just Pizza Hut. That's Wing Street. There's 3 chicken wing chains. I'm not in the business of trying to yuck other people's yum when it comes to food. I don't know. I like chicken wings. Like if I'm at a pub or something like that and they have a chicken wing appetizer or a shareable, there's a chance that I may order it, but I've never really been motivated to like go to a restaurant that's like, we sell chicken wings as our specialty here. I don't know. Hot honey rub wings are king. I do respect that you've come in here and you've stated a wing preference that is not just spicy. Because I have to come to a consensus with my wife when we get chicken wings. And I'm normally like a buffalo wings sort of guy, but she's more of like a honey garlic or even like a salt and pepper head. So we usually end up getting honey garlic or salt and pepper. And I think that I underglaze them. It feels like if you don't go buffalo, people think that, you know, they see you as having made a mistake. But like the other stuff's on the menu for a reason, right? That's how I take it. Plus, like, it turns out most fried meats just taste good, especially when sauce is invited to the party. I will say though, I am for Korean fried chicken, sorry, I have too many things going on in my brain right now. For Korean fried chicken, I'm an original recipe guy. I'm not a cheese snow. I can get down with the soy garlic. I can get down with the yang chicken, but for the most part, I'm an original recipe Korean fried chicken sort of guy. Once they start busting out the cheese snow, I'm like, well, I still eat it because it's fried chicken at the end of the day, but I have to think about it. I have to think about this. Because we have how long? We have a little while before we have to have a unit here to get double HP, if we're even going to do that. And bombers don't seem good to ride boars. Imps don't seem great to ride boars. I think I would just take a treant and maybe go... Let's go vault mode first, and then we'll go treant mode from that point onwards, I suppose. Ranch is for little kids. That checks out. I was at a 4-year-old's birthday party yesterday, and they had ranch dressing there. I ate a fuckload of it. I also ate Doritos for the first time in like 10 years. I was like, damn, this shit is good, man. I forgot. Turns out Doritos are really tasty. They're like made in a lab to taste good. They had Cool Ranch, and they had Sweet Chili Heat. I forget what they call it in the US, but... Is it possible that processed food is actually better for you than unprocessed food because your body doesn't have to do all the work of processing it? Sorry, let me take a hit of my factory engineered zero sugar cola real quick. That's got to be less stress on your body, like digesting stuff, man. It just makes sense. Kind of ice cream you have in your freezer right now? Sadly, none. I've been trying to go to the ice cream parlor, but my kid is kind of selling me out. Because I love to go to the ice cream parlor, and I used to use my child as an excuse to go to the ice cream parlor. But now, she isn't messing with ice cream that much, which I know sounds crazy. But I'm always like, I pick her up from school, and I'm like, you want to get some ice cream? And she's like, not really, I just want to go home. And I'm like, damn. Now my excuse to get ice cream is gone, man. So I'm like, I could go to the ice cream parlor myself, but I don't know. I like to double it up with like some kind of errand if possible. And Kate, we got to talk about this. People are going to say this is misogyny, but that's just because they're not as knowledgeable about women as I am. We have to talk about a little gender dynamic dessert bias, okay? How come when we go out to eat, and then like you want a bubble tea afterwards, it's on site, it's automatic. But if I want to make a stop at an ice cream parlor, it's like, oh, we got sweet stuff at home. You know what I'm talking about? Any fellas out there that are going to give me a +2 and not leave me moored on an island here by myself? It was 2 doors down. Yeah, we got a car. The bubble tea shop was right next to the Korean restaurant. I can't deny that, but... That's relevant information that I probably should have mentioned earlier. I think, and I don't expect anybody to join me on this one because it takes true bravery to speak truth to power. When wives want desserts, the consensus is, she's your wife, get her dessert. But when husbands want desserts, there's more pushback. And the pushback is like, you don't really need that. Oh, baby needs a sweet treat after eating a meal? Oh, really? Your ancestors used to be warriors. They used to engage in gladiatorial combat to the death. Now look at my husband. He's a grown-ass man that wants a sweet little treat or something like that. We lined up for 20 minutes to get you ice cream. That was on Saturday. I wanted ice cream yesterday, too. She got me on that one. She cooked me on that one. Also, that wasn't ice cream. That was like some kind of like, that was a cultured Greek gelato. It wasn't ice cream. It was Greek gelato. It's a different thing. Slightly. I don't know the difference really, but she's cooking me on that one. I can't really disagree. What's the objective of this game? It's the same as the naive objective of life, my brother. Don't die. Procreated the boars again? You just don't get it, man. You don't get it. I don't get it either. I should stop reading the message out loud. It's just deeply uninteresting conversation, to be honest. 15 years of you're playing the game wrong? It's a little crazy that we're still talking about it. Like, you realize at this point, it's probably like 20% of the average person's lifespan we've spent being anal about playing an independent video game wrong. We gotta have a serious conversation about whether that's like what we want our lives to look like. I mean, maybe for you it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Crazy to play games wrong after 15 years experience. I don't know, man. Have you ever seen an old person drive? Flamethrower in the back, so useful I can't. Did you hear what I said earlier about how we're all gonna die someday? I'm just interested to know your thoughts on that. And how that relates to how you're spending your time presently when you do have control. That modicum of time where you actually have some ability to influence and be influenced by the world. Instead of the ink being dry. I have a superior flamethrower. Well, you know what? There is that. There is that. I can't dispute that. I gotta think about this for a minute. Faint Bunny, why are you crashing out today, Faint Bunny? We gotta talk, man. I have to know. You're trolling today. Is it because I said I didn't want to hear your Canadian joke? I didn't even say that. I thought it. He's pissed you're streaming on Memorial Day? What does it matter to you, bro? You're here every day. Even the time you got banned, I think. Also, you're Canadian? I know, that means we have a sense of humor. Of course I want to hear your Canadian joke. Why is Ben Gibbard in chat asking me if I've ever JO'd to a music video? It's a fucking funny-ass sentence, though. I think the farm is good. Well, have you? Buddy, I was born in 1988. You can answer the question yourself. Nowadays, it seems quaint, but that was all we had back in the day, man. Which one? Money for Nothing by Dire Straits, bitch! Game gets more difficult after year 30, just like life. Nah, not really. As a 31-year-old, I'm chilling. I'm being real with you, man. I mean, this is not to be rude at all. This is overly simplistic. Because what I was gonna say is if your 30s are like when shit starts fucking up for you, then you probably started fucking up in your 20s, but that's not true. You could have had like your leg crushed by a cinder block or something like that. That's not really fair for me to say. I got my you-know-what stuck in a breeze block. I've been there, man. And I don't mean on vacation. But like my 30s have basically been exactly the same in my 20s so far. The only real difference, and you get a mosquito bite, it takes like a little longer to heal. That's a big one. So I imagine if my leg got crushed by a cinder block, it would take even longer. But then like also, you're stupider, but you acknowledge that you're stupider, which makes you wiser. Like instead of being 23 and being like, I can make that jump, you go like, I'm 36. I probably shouldn't even attempt that jump. I could get injured really badly. 20s coworkers asking me to go to bars and stuff. I'm like, bitch, it's 9 p.m. That's what it's all about, man. I also think that, you know, when you get into your 30s, you know yourself better. You can be honest with yourself a little bit more. Instead of being like, that's a bad decision, but it would be legendary, you go, nah, I'm gonna feel bad tomorrow. It gives you more of a license to be like, I don't have to submit to the peer pressure to do that. I can just go home. I mean, if you figured it out in your 20s, then more power to you. But it took me longer than it takes. I'm not gonna say the average person, but it took me longer than it should have taken to just be like, I should just go to bed. Like, I look at going to bed is like the free space on the bingo card, man. Going to bed is buying like treasury protected bonds when inflation is at like 7%. It's like, you know, your worst case scenario, you're gonna feel pretty good in the morning. What are you talking about? I mean, like, the thing is, like, when you go to bed, you have like a good sleep. Or at least I do. Maybe it's like a skill difference thing. That's why depressed people try to spam it. It's so OP they had to like nerf it with coffee and shit. You ever dream you're bald? No, but I've been having crazy dreams lately. I don't know if like my subconscious is trying to tell me something. I literally dreamed, Kate, I don't know if you're still in chat. I dreamed that I got sent a note from our daughter's school that was like, hey, just so you know, all the other parents got together and said they want to beat your ass. And then it was like an itemized receipt of every parent at the school. It was like an Excel spreadsheet, and then it was like reason for grievance, like why they're pissed off at me. And then it was like repercussions, and almost all of them said, I want to beat his ass. And I was like, what the hell is going on, man? Luckily, dreams don't actually have any like hidden meaning or like representations of your subconscious fears or anything. So I got really nothing to worry about in that regard, I think. He buffs, so he goes back to the other warlocks to buff them after the frontline warlocks are dead. Oh shit. Dude, what the fuck? What the fuck? It never went that far. Let's go blacksmith here too. Because like as your damage increases, it raises the attacks of all the enemies that get buffed, or all of our units that get buffed by you. Motherfucker! I love it every time, man. Yeah, that video is the type of shit that makes you realize there can be like goodness in the world or whatever. Towers? We don't care about towers too much. Let me think about this. Ballista. We do care about ballista. We do care about citadel too, but... Say Balatro like that? Balatro. How do you... Balatro. Something like that? I was giving it my all. Should I switch to business and university? Chat's gonna tell you no, but it actually might be the move. They're gonna say like you don't learn anything, and it is true. That seminal tweet about how like business majors will complain about how hard their schooling is, and then you walk by the classroom and they have something on the whiteboard that says like profit equals revenue minus cost. But it really does seem like you can use that to like your advantage by getting a good job afterwards. So I don't know. That might be the kind of play you're interested in, man. All the dumbest people in the world went to business school. Yeah, but like, don't take this the wrong way. Are they that dumb if they went to business school and now they didn't have to work that hard in school and now they make a lot of money at like a job that is very successful for them? Because like I feel like there's like an element of like maybe that's the smartest decision of all, man. I still don't like them. Well, that's fair. I think to be honest, you should like meet them first. I guess it's easy to have like hate in your heart. I'm sure there's like good ones and bad ones. You think the popularity of the auto-battler genre says something about modern society, like how we've become lazier? Nope, not at all. Couple of reasons. I don't think auto-battlers are really that popular, for one. I don't really think society's gotten lazier, to be honest with you. And if anything, I think that your statement is almost meta. I think that you're trying to draw a conclusion from like 7 irrelevant pieces of data says it unveils and spotlights a truth about the human brain, which is trying to force patterns into situations where none exist. And if anything, the commentary that I think that gives on modern society is people these days have way more opinions than sense. You don't need to have an opinion on that. The game's good, you play it. If it's not good, don't worry about it so much. I really don't feel like people are lazier. That's for sure, though. Maybe a bit since work from home. I mean, I wasn't alive in the 60s, but did you ever see Mad Men? All they do is, like, smoke cigarettes, drink at, like, 10 a.m., and then, like, sleep with their secretaries, and then they're like, oh, shit, the CEO of Coca-Cola's coming in, and then Don Draper's like, drink Coke, it tastes good. Coke, the American taste. And then they're like, oh, fuck, we never fucking thought about that because at our office, we're doing exactly the same thing. We're just smoking and drinking all the time. You're a fucking genius, Don Draper. You're the smartest ad man that's ever existed. You have to just trust. I mean, you don't have to trust. You could dispute the trust. But, like, I don't feel good about saying this because I find it a little too... It's too easy to score +2s with this. But, like... I think, if anything, society becoming lazier over time is actually, like, a good thing. Like, didn't they invent the machines in the first place so that we would have to, like, do less shit? So, like, again, I'm not just trying to pander, but, like, they invented the machines and people are as busy as they've ever been, if not busier. Something went wrong, man. Also, like, I think laziness is both a vice and a virtue. Being lazy about things that are important is a vice, which doesn't even necessarily mean that it's bad, but it's a vice. But being lazy about shit that doesn't matter is virtuous, man. Like, I'm sorry, if you're too lazy to dust, that's a virtue. You don't even know that it's like, it's there, man. The dust on top of the shelf, you don't need to worry about it. It doesn't do anything. It's never affected anybody. You could just get like an air filter or something. You can literally see it on top of the mantle. Not me, bro. I didn't even make the basketball team as a kid. I'm allergic to dust. Literal skill difference. You start sneezing, then you know, maybe that's the time for the work ethic to kick in. But otherwise, if anything, shit. If anything, these days I get annoyed because people are like, I don't think it's even hustle culture or anything. I think it's just any opportunity to like strike out at your fellow man is very appealing, which I can really relate to and understand. But like if you ever like, if you eat out, people are like, don't you know you can make food at home? Then if you make food at home, people are like, jarred sauce. Yeah, he cooked with a jarred sauce. He didn't even do the J. Kenji Alt Lopez Google how to make the best, you know, fettuccine Alfredo. Prep time, 8 hours, 15 minutes. Cook time, 45 minutes. He didn't even do that shit, man. He didn't even like hand forage anchovies from the fucking beach or anything like that. It's crazy, man. Doesn't sneezing feel so good? That's the type of shit the cavemen were talking about back in the day, man. And you're fucking real for that one, dude. Sneezing feels good as hell. This is not like knocking my mom. But anytime we like use a jarred sauce to cook pasta for our daughter, she's like, you know, it's not that hard to make pasta sauce yourself. And I'm like, I know, I did it in college when I was skipping class and I had the same attitude, but now we got shit to do. Okay, we don't get a lot of time, okay? I'm making 11 portions of pasta to then reheat in the microwave for the next like 6 days. We're just getting it done. It tastes good. It's going in the fridge. It's meal prep stuff, okay? And we're not even using like the Classicos, okay? We're using Rayos. I think it tastes the same as the Classico, but it better be better because it's like $5 more per jar, but... So I don't know, man. Meanwhile, in like the 1950s, I mean, people were literally like, they were having TV dinners for dinner, man. It's called an American bento box. We're an American bento! What are your thoughts on the rise of anti-intellectualism? I think it was happening before I got here, but yeah, it does piss me off. And people aren't gonna like this take, but I really, I'm like, do I even want to say it? I feel like if you're saying shit like let people enjoy things, you're not responsible for it, but you're like complicit in the normalization of anti-intellectualism. I think it's okay to like stupid stuff, but like, you know, framing it as some kind of like a noble pursuit is kind of crazy to me. I only watch very cerebral stuff like The Devil's Plan. Pseudo-intellectualism is even more rampant. Wow, dude, you're so meta, even this acronym type shit. Reddit will perma-ban you for being anti-dog. Okay, can I ask you a question? Why are you anti-dog? Like, anti-bike, I disagree, but I get. Because you did say anti-bike in your comment as well. I understand cyclists can be annoying. But, like, dogs? I'm not even a dog person. I've never owned a dog. I get annoyed with millennials for like, when they see my kid, they scowl. But when they see a dog, they go like, oh, OMG, a heckin' big pupper. But like the dogs haven't done anything wrong, man. I've been bit by 5 dogs. Magressa, you're a mod here. Nothing but respect. You ever think that maybe if you've been bitten by 5 dogs, the problem is kind of like, the call is coming from inside of the house? I hesitated to even say it because it's not fair. But 5 dogs? I've been bitten by 1 dog, and it was the dog's fault. Now, I guess, like, that same situation could have happened to me 5 times, but I think at some point I'd just stop riding my bike by their house, I guess, if I could avoid it. I still, like, I don't know. It's probably just yet another example of me being, like, the only rational person. Probably just like the only real guy on planet Earth. Like, even though I don't like dogs that much, I don't mind them being like at the restaurant or the function or whatever. I don't mind a dog in the grocery store. I don't mind a dog at the cafe. Doesn't really bother me. You might say like, what if they poop? I mean, I don't know. Everybody poops these days. Dog poop, the least of our problems up here. That's damn true. If you live in the Pacific Northwest and dog poop is a big problem in your life, you should advocate for property taxes to go up because your neighborhood is... You Shaughnessy motherfucker. Anybody here live? You can't answer this question. This might be TOS. If hypothetically you lived in Shaughnessy, the neighborhood in Vancouver, British Columbia. Oh, good. Nobody in Shaughnessy's watching right now. They got nothing else to do, man. Probably taking their dogs for walks at like 4:45 in the morning. This is a top 10 post of all time in the San Diego subreddit. Okay, because of you, because you're posting it, librarian, I'm going to read it. Dog culture getting a little ridiculous. Spotted at the Mission Valley Costco today. It is it's a dog in the Costco, and it doesn't have the vest on or anything. It says he's like blue collar. Latino Daddy 305 on Reddit says, I tried taking a woman on a date once. Her prerequisite was that her dog had to be with us at the restaurant. Reply, I had a date where she showed up with her dog to see a movie. Listen, man, that's fucked up, but it's fucking funny. That's some funny shit. Would you disagree with that? I doubt it. Dog at the movie is a crazy vibe. I didn't even think about that. We're gonna lose, man. I don't have shit. No, nothing's happening. I don't know, man. I still feel like dogs are like mostly chill. I saw you at Granville and Smythe yesterday, but I was too shy to say hi. You dodged a bullet because I was not there. That was another guy. My wife's been glazing me lately. It's nice, man. I would recommend it. What do you mean? Are you guys so millennial you don't even know what glazing means? It's a sad story, man. Itch Bulletarian, don't play into their game. You know how millennials are. Oh my God! I just realized all the chat behavior that annoys me, I can literally stop it by just saying it's millennial energy. Oh my God! Why have I never thought of this before? Oh, deliberately misconstruing a sentence to make it as sexual as possible? Okay, Michael Scott, millennial ass energy. It's literally OP, dude. You're done, bud. That's like, don't you hate it when millennials, you're trying to like have a conversation, but you said something that like in the most distant sense of the word could be misconstrued as sexual, and they go, oh, really? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what she said. That's like definitely, that's how you know someone's a millennial, man. That shit is annoying. It's very, and this is now me being honest instead of just trying to affect your behavior. It's very Reddit coded when you're like you're trying to have a conversation about something that's like meaningful to you, and then they reply with like a pun or something like that. And you're like, bro, you could just say like, I don't have anything to say about that. You don't have to be like, here's the first joke that came to mind that sucks ass. You could just say, wow, that's interesting. You don't have to be like, that reminds me. Grobzulla, it's crazy. We used to have a chatter here way back in the day named Grobzulla. Hope they're doing all right. Grobzulla, though. I haven't really thought about that in a long time. Only real ones remember. I believe Grobzulla was famous for having two great shields, like dual-wielding two great shields in Dark Souls, PvP. That's why I remember them. Let me see. Slash user Grob. There's Grobzulla. Grobzulla? Previously subbed for 2 months. One message in chat. 2 resinous. No. That's not that. There's a. Hang on. Maybe it's with an O too. Grobzulla. 0 messages. Account. Dude, Uber Lurker. 1 second. Do I win these? We win these. Account created December 26, 2011. Following since July 14th, 2013. Previously subbed for 4 months. 0 messages lifetime in chat. Holy shit, dude. That's amazing. Diamond hands. That's crazy. They must have chatted on YouTube back in the day. People don't remember, man. You literally might have been like 10 when this happened. YouTube streams used to be so funny back in the day. Literally, it would take so long. Like, YouTube chat wouldn't send messages as they were typed. They would wait until there was like the queue was full, and then they would flood them all into chat simultaneously. Just an unbelievable solution. So it would come in, it would load in chunks, exactly. So you would get like 50 messages that came in all at exactly the same time. Upgrade the blacksmith. First hit is always critical. Upgrade a random plot. I love that for me. So we used to tell people, like, if you want to chat, literally just tweet us instead of chat in the YouTube chat. And then we would keep, like, TweetDeck open with a filter so that we could use hashtags to see what people were live chatting. I know it sounds horrible, but, like, those were the constraints you were working with back then. It was a different time, man. There's no doubt about that. It was a different time. You want to hear a joke about women or Canada? Okay, Faint Bunny, let's start with the Canada joke. I'm ready. Things have chilled down a little bit. We're ready for some banter. Okay, that's a funny joke. Canada sucks because one half speaks French and the other half lets them. It's offensive, but the bluntness of the joke really actually adds a little bit to it. I'll give you that. I did not say let's hear the joke about women. You're entitled to post it if you want, but I'm also entitled to ban you if it's bad. That's a recycled joke from Reddit. That's fine. It made me laugh a little bit. And you know from my glazing, I support Quebec more than the average Anglophile. I guess I'm not an Anglophile, I'm an Anglophone. You've seen me play Scrandle. Have they posted the joke? I don't know, man. I've been waiting so long. No, maybe they're still typing it. All right, I'm gonna say it. I have to say I don't think this one is as good, Faint Bunny. Why did the two women cancel their sushi date? Because there was no man to pay the bill. I have to say that I get what you're going for with the joke. I don't even think it's that offensive. It just doesn't have there's no punch to it. It's giving bitter, yes, it's giving bitter energy, thank you. And not just because it's offensive, because it's not even really offensive. Very, like, a milquetoast level of offense. I'm, like, more offended as a comedian than as a guy who respects women, is I guess what I'm trying to say. How's the slide thing going anyway? We're having a hard time getting our schedules to link up. We're playing hard to get, unfortunately. We can make this. We can make this happen. Can we have a comedy session where chat drops jokes and it's like joke boat? You could just start streaming. I can't stop you from doing that. It'd be like a millennial Kill Tony. Wait, what's Kill Tony though? What's their generation? Are they Gen X? Is that the show that's like, you killed Tony, you bastards? Is that the one? That's South Park and it's Kenny. You know what? Maybe we've circled around to the point where actually explaining the joke is funny again. Because you got me laughing with that one. Yeah, what if Peter was the one explaining the joke? I think you guys are right. You actually gave me a great coping mechanism when I see something on Reddit that annoys me. I just go, oh, these are bots that are karma farming. And then that makes it hurt less. Can I use that IRL too? I said this in the Discord, and some people krungoed it, and some people rightfully understood that it's actually a genius coping mechanism. Because I'll tell you that the reason it came up was because people were discussing my idea, which is genius and should win a Nobel Prize in sociology, which I don't think the prize has even been originated yet, but that they should make it policy that you not grab a seat in the food court until you have your food, okay? That was my thesis. Because then the tables could be preserved for people who already have their food and can then eat instead of people who are waiting for their food to come so they can eat. And then people, as far as I'm concerned, they get lost in the woods. Well, people wouldn't follow. We can't enforce that. What are they going to do? Have cops at the mall? If you put up a sign, people will just ignore it. I'm like, you know what the secret is? If they ignore the sign, and I do this all the time, if someone violates an unspoken rule or even a spoken rule of social behavior that elevates themselves at the expense of the crowd, I just imagine them burning in hell forever. I don't have the power to send them to hell, but in my head, in my imagination, I imagine them like with cartoon flames around them going like, ah! Ah! And then you're like, well, big whoop, man. If you really want to go to hell, if you want to break the rules and then suffer for eternity, by all means, or something like that. That sounds like a lot of hate to carry around. People who are selfish love to say shit like that. They love to say like, hey man, holding a grudge is like swallowing poison and expecting your enemy to die. Nah, dude. For a second, I imagine you burning in hell, and I smile to myself and I laugh a little bit, and then I go about the rest of my day. You're the dude who has to live with being an asshole for the rest of your fucking life. I don't know what's going to happen for eternity. I'm an atheist. I don't believe that hell exists. But I do imagine the people who do stuff like that burning there. Because it's like a coping mechanism for me to be like, they are getting some spiritual comeuppance for making society slightly worse. They're not even really being penalized. They're only being penalized in my imagination. You just imagine them burning in hell. Thank you. I was telling my wife, you know how Ben Affleck says the best part of my day is like going to Matt Damon's house? Which I get it, they're like good friends or whatever. Best part of my day is hearing from upstairs my wife say, I got you lunch. And then for the next like hour and a little bit, I get to be like, oh, I wonder what it is, man. I wonder what it is. And then the best part is, I go upstairs, and no matter what it is, I'm always like, yes! Lunch from a restaurant! That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, the point I'm trying to make is I think Ben Affleck might be gay for Matt Damon, bro. Is that part of the subtext of Good Will Hunting? I'm from Boston, and yes. That's a funny comment. Sometimes lunch from a restaurant sucks, though. I eat it, and I go, well, I could have made that. I don't know, that's skill difference. I'm usually like pretty jazzed when I eat food from a restaurant. Even like Kate will tell you, the worst thing I've ever said about food at a restaurant is it's not that good. Like if I say it's okay, that basically means like this is worse than 95% of restaurants out there. And even still, I finish my plate and I leave the restaurant and I go, that was a nice time. Also, like, chiblee, I came up with a goated rhetorical technique, okay? Also known as a logical fallacy. But, Chiblee, if, you know, we're streamers, we can admit, chat annoys us sometimes. The themes of chat, the overarching themes of chat that annoy you, you can literally neutralize them by just calling them millennial. You could, anything that bothers you, just say, wow, very millennial coded, and then they get self-conscious and they stop because they don't want to be associated with my generation. It's actually like a dream come true. So what I was gonna say is, you sound like a middle-aged man saying, I only eat at restaurants where I can't cook the food myself at home. But what I'm gonna say instead is, wow, that's millennial energy, only going out to a restaurant where you don't know how to cook the food they serve. And then you're gonna stop saying that shit. You're gonna recognize that sometimes it's just nice to go out to a restaurant. Also, you're the one who ordered the burger, so like, you could order something a little different off the menu if you want to be. Stop ordering burgers then if you want to eat something you can't make at home. Pretty millennial reference. See, I don't have to worry about being a millennial. A, because I'm a driver of culture. I'm a tastemaker, so I can behave in whichever way that I choose and spread my influence throughout the internet world, if not meat space. And B, because I'm a millennial, so I don't mind being called a millennial. You're Gen X? I'm not Gen X. I take offense to that. Take a lot of offense to that. Better watch your mouth. Can you please read Chiblee's movie idea? Chiblee, does this chatter speak for you? I made up a movie where two pilots fall in love, but they are long distance. Then on 9/11 anniversary, they steal two planes to meet up, but no one knows, so the whole world freaks out, and the movie's called A Date to Remember. I could see that being like one of those movies, and I do mean offense. This is offensive, and I mean it offensively. I see that as being one of those movies where they like r/movies upvotes the idea of the movie to like one of the top posts of the year with like 40,000 upvotes, and then it's like it has like Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage starring as the pilots, and then when it comes out, it opens in like 4 theaters worldwide and never expands. And has like I'm gonna say 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not even bad. And then the critical consensus is something like a charming and quirky film that relies a little too much on the charisma of the lead actors, but still marks a idiosyncratic addition to Nicolas Cage's filmography, or something like that. So that's my way of saying, like, I like it. You ever dislike a movie, then you go to our movies and every post is about how good it is? Pisses me off. I have like the opposite thing. Not to frame this deliberately in a way that makes me look like a better movie enjoyer than the average individual. I have the opposite problem, which is I saw Decision to Leave and I was like, damn, this movie's good as fuck. And then like on r/movies, everybody was like, the main character is kind of a dickhead. It made the movie really hard to watch. That really took me out. That shit was pissing me the fuck off. 1 second, this is the year of the blessing, man. That's the point? I know, King, I know, you and me know, okay? They don't get it, man. They still, I don't know. They still think that the protagonist in the movie has to be a good guy. I don't get it. I'll never forget that Reddit comment. It did piss me off. They were like, I really wanted to like this movie, but I couldn't get over the fact that the main character cheated on his wife for like the whole movie. And you're like, you looked up the synopsis of the movie before you downloaded that shit on like coolmovies.com, right? The synopsis is like a police officer cheats on his wife and deals with the consequences. Like, why did you fucking choose to watch the movie then if that's a problem? Someone called it Korean Scott Pilgrim. That's insane. That doesn't even make any sense. He literally only fights one evil ex-boyfriend. It's lower down in the same comment. It's wild, man. I don't know. But it does go kind of hard to suggest that, like, if someone likes a movie that you don't like, that they're actually like a bad person or possibly a criminal. It's really hard to counter that line of reasoning. So I understand. It's like, it's OP. You literally said that people who didn't date anyone at 30 are serial killers? No, that's not what I said. I said that when you're... No, Chiblee, don't listen. When you're like 22, being divorced is like a bit of a red flag. But if you're... And people really don't like this take. But I like poking the bear. So I think that I don't... You didn't have to twist my arm too much to get me to say it, but I do think that, like, if you're in your 40s, it's more of a red flag if someone has never been in a serious long-term relationship or married than it is if they're divorced. Like 1 in 3 to 1 in 2 middle-aged people is divorced. It's like at least at that point, someone has said, I'll take a chance on this person. And then maybe they got a ways into it and went, nah, this ain't for me. But like they saw potential, man. They like invested in you a little bit. You said 30? Did I say 30 before? I thought I said 40 before because I was trying to make sure that it applied to Justin. Because I thought he could take a joke. You said 35 before? I think I said 40 before. I think you guys are remembering what you want to hear. But, you know, there's like a database out there of every word I've ever said on stream. So let's test it, man. You said 30 on the first day. You said 40 on the next day. I can live with that. So if you're 30, it's fine. Well, it's not as bad as 40. I'm just trying not to make anybody have like a generational crash out in like their home life or whatever. The librarian video is NL rants about unmarried 30-year-olds. Yeah, librarian like lies in the title and the thumbnail all the time. It's literally like how you do YouTube properly. I'm not saying I could have said 30, but the title is not evidence. Slide update. I need to check my email. I'm hoping to have a phone call with them later today. Let me see. Oh, today at 3 p.m. totally works. Let's go, man. Last weekend, I took pictures of the broken slides. And the reason I did it is because I didn't want, I want no friction. I don't want to be on the phone call and then the person that I'm talking to is saying something like, well, send me some pictures of the slides and then we'll circle back. Because that could add 2 more weeks to the overhead here. And we're burning summertime, basically. Like, we're getting real close. So I took pictures of it in advance. So if they're like, well, we need to examine the condition of the slides, I'll be like, check this out. Check your email inbox right the frick now. I sent it over 5 minutes before the phone call even started. So that we're not dragging our heels bureaucratically here. Now just tell me how many hundreds of thousands of dollars it's going to cost to put a $500 slide in this playground, please. Being a Karen works? Yeah. I mean, I think being like a squeaky wheel. That's what I would call it. I wouldn't call it Karen. I'd be a squeaky wheel. Also, Karen energy, I don't feel like is everybody who's annoying. Everybody who's annoying is not a Karen. It's a Karen when you're entitled. Now, do I feel entitled to a functional slide? Yeah, for 2 reasons. One is I pay my property tax the day I get the letter every year. Actually, I have it 2 times a year. Secondly, I mean, my playground had a slide when I was a kid. Now my kid doesn't get a slide. Why? It's too expensive to make slides? That's like living in the caveman days and they like invented the wheel 2 generations ago and they're like, wheels are too expensive to make. Bitch, it should be all wheels by now. What the fuck? This bitch should be covered in wheels. There should be slides you shouldn't be able to shake a stick without hitting like 10 slides these days. What do you mean we can't make them? They were making them with leftover corrugated iron from building the Empire State Building back in the day. The shit was like adjusted for inflation. It was like $1 billion a kilo for steel. Nowadays we can make like bioplastic in a petri dish and we can't get a fucking slide at the playground? Anyway. Insurance has ruined everything. That is actually true. You can't do like shit anymore without people being like, but liability. I hate the rule of law. I hate the rule of law. I hate the rule of law. This must be an oversimplification of the legal system. But I want to say it should be harder to sue somebody. Like, I feel like you should be able, like if someone... It's not fair to say this, but I'm like, if I shovel snow, but the walk is a little bit icy, and someone slips on the ice, maybe they should sue their own ass for buying bad shoes for the wintertime. You gotta, like, you can't take all the, it's inconceivable to take all the danger out of life in all ways. You know, that just seems like it's a little crazy to me. I shovel my walk. I don't do it because I'm worried about being sued. I do it because people gotta go places. It's called being a good neighbor. But like, if I end up getting sued for everything I'm worth because like an icicle fell off the top branch of the tree adjacent to our house in the middle of winter and they were like looking straight up when it happened and it went through their eyeball, I'm picturing you burning in hell. Right now, I made this person up and I'm picturing them being, the flames of hell are licking their skin right now. That's disingenuous. I think that suing me for my life's work because of an accident that you were part and parcel to, that makes you a bad person, and I'm imagining you burning in hell. Is their skin melting off? No, but it's like the gif, not of the dog in the chair that says this is fine. But have you ever seen the like really low-res gif of the skeleton in hell and the skeleton only has like 2 different poses that it's oscillating between? It's like that one. Why are you on your Catholic arc? Get it twisted. God is dead and we killed him or whatever. What is it? No, I just think, I don't believe in God, but I think that the human spirit is real. But I think we gave it to ourselves. And we're slowly trying to take it away from ourselves, which I find decroded. But anyway. We got that fucker good. And I gotta reply to this email. 3 sounds perfect. 3 is perfect. I'll call you then. Have a great day, Ryan. Can I tell you as well, for a guy who like doesn't interface with corporate too much because of the nature of my job, I think I'm learning pretty well on the fly. Because you know why we got this phone call? Because on Friday, I didn't have time. So I said, hi, something came up this afternoon. Sorry for the late reply. Is there a time next week that works for you for a call? ? And then I said, And I don't think that, I think this is just human nature. I'm not saying that this person would do this malevolently, with malice in their heart. I said, maybe Monday afternoon around 3. I didn't just say, is there another time? Could you, I'm putting the onus on you to suggest another time. Would you please suggest a time and I'll tell you whether or not it works for me? I hit them with basically an auto opt-in, like, is this good? And they went, yeah, that's great. That's the tech right there. Because I hate when people do that to me. I'm like, fuck. I didn't want to have this meeting. I wish that they could have said, is there a time that works for you? Because then I could have ignored the email for 4 days and then replied and been like, how about Friday 3 weeks from now at 4:52 p.m.? It's going to be so funny on the phone call when she realizes that I'm just a guy and not like the CEO of Hootsuite or Lululemon. No, she's in municipal politics. I bet they deal with this all the time. Sorry, my camera froze. It's wordplay. Wordplay is, it's a demo. It's Scrabble but Ballatro. And you're going to say, NL, you played this. No, I didn't. I played Wordatro. This is a new twist on the Wordatro formula called wordplay from Game Maker's Toolkit, the YouTuber. This is no disrespect. I'm basically becoming Brad Pitt in The Big Short. I opt out of sending all data to everybody anywhere whenever given the opportunity, but thank you to the heroes who probably nobly and rightfully say, sure, I'll send you anonymized data. Spell words to score points. Words must have at least 4 tiles. Press this to submit your word. All right. I can use any of these. That's crazy, man. I've got like, I got too much at my disposal right now, man. I could type something like Britain. Am I an idiot? Is this not how Britain is spelled? Is Britain not a word? I just realized I don't think I've ever spelled the word Britain. Great Britain. It definitely has an I. Okay, so that we were right on that one. Poning? That's a word. I think you'll find that that's a word. Yes, can you use it in a sentence? Poning my dick and balls and brown area? Millennial, I'm afraid. It happens. How about like, Knowing? My favorite Nicolas Cage movie. And you get the W in slot 4, bro! Let's play like Siren. And then just, I don't know, see where the night takes us. That's even more vowels, man. Barry? He's a genius! Shunted. Probably the easiest play I've ever made in my life. Dramatize. Oh! Oh, shit! That's right. That's right. 78 points. Put it in the bag. If we could just get an M or another H in position 3, that would really feel great as well. Or another era J. Hand job? Hand joint. You don't know shit about being a carpenter. That's a real thing, probably. You could easily seeing it being a real thing. Handler is okay. I could live with handler. Flatter. What is, if my shirt had more stripes, it's platter than yours. Dialers. People who work in a call center. This seems like a great combination of words. Shine down. Oh, are you serious, man? It's a words of band! Believed. To lease something. This This apartment is beleased. This is insane. They literally need to open up a dictionary at some point. You're gonna tell me beleased is not a word. How about de-wined? Sandhole. Sandhole's not a word? Are you serious, man? All right, I guess I'll just play least, but like it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. That's huge. Rezone is huge. How about be rezone? They need to bust out the 1600s dictionary, man. Gotta be some good ones in here. Anything that... Anything that puts something better in the third spot? I mean, you could sit here and iterate till the cows come home. Abattoir? Abattoir is 2 B's, I think. Oh, shit! Oh, so you like French words, huh? You'll accept French words? All right, I see your game. I see you know your judo well. Knowing words is sick. They don't make a lot of games for word cells, man. Shape rotating games are so, like, overrepresented right now. It's gonna be like big quotes. There's no you. Oh, because I have one. I'll always play quote, man. Anytime you get to use a Q, you're stoked. Leader. That is actually a word. Wait, I don't have an E. Never mind. I'm not mad anymore. Realtor. We're in trouble though. Brazil? How about slobber? That's a real word. A ×3 on a good spot. Can I use, I'd like to use my other B in that slot. I can totally live with this, man. This is like when you get hit in the head with a baseball. Or like what happens to a chili, I suppose. 40 points, that's a big one. Oh, you're right, I should have looked for D-beans. Okay, we have 5 to score 80. We need 16 points per. Quick maths, because that comes up in the Peloton all the time. Isn't this like related to Francisco or something? Saint Francis? That should work, man. Awaken? Awaken? Oh, shit! Holy cow. What? That easily makes it, bro. We've conquered the demo. You win. Best word, awakened 80, quit to menu? Sure, man. I like the snappy mobile design. Of course we're gonna go again, bro. I can go with it. Do you even like rogues? This is not your fault, by the way. We play Bandles here. Whatever happened? You reminded me of a guy that I haven't seen in a while. And the guy who is offended that roguelikes are popular and constantly asks, like, if you've ever played Rogue. He always nut checks you. It's like, oh, Binding of Isaac, yeah, it's pretty good. But you know what would make it even better? If it had ASCII art and then, like, nobody in history has ever played it. My coworkers were dunking on Balatro when it came out. So-called good game lovers when a good game comes out, but it's not a third-person action game with a gun or an axe. I understand. We're gonna take an upgrade, because our upgrades get refreshed. Because then now we can not just flex the word cell side, we can flex the roguelike side as well. Like, damn, dude, I really don't want an X out here. Thanks for the better L. I think I hate my letters, bro. I think I dislike them. Beaten? Mieten. Beaten Mieten would be a great name for a German restaurant where you jack off. We get to keep the E. Why not? This will be 17 points, man. This will be 16 points. Serious? Watch movies, okay? Media literacy is at an all-time low. Livia S. I didn't say her name, but you know who she is. Livid. This way we get to at least keep E. The golden E in our hand. Oh, never mind. That's actually ridiculous. Farter, that's a real word, man. Refactor? Refactorer? What? This is actually a word. Refactor is a word. It's a programming word. Game Maker's Toolkit, you gotta know this. Refactor is a word. Put an E there, dummy. Beg for your life in chat. Hang on. You're lucky. You're very lucky. I can't find you. Too many people have tried. Oh, no, thank you, mods. Man, this is crazy. What you were posting? I haven't even seen this emote. Surprise. Honestly, I can't ban you. And the reason is because your chat history is so suspect. I think I can't be held responsible for the actions that you would take after facing discipline in this chat. But you should seek to enrich your spirit through pursuits outside of the computer. Toot sweet. But I don't need that shit on my hands, okay? Gabaron. Square up. Square up, bitch. This is a word, man. Gabaron. It's a country. It's a word. Who invented the rule of proper nouns are not acceptable? Like, that doesn't even make sense to me. It's a proper noun. Okay, bitch, it's a word. It's a word. It's a city? Yeah, okay. And peanut is a legume. That's what happens when you go to the dictionary, you open it up. It would be Gabaron, a city. Why are we POV? You are a dictionary. They could, if they used proper nouns, people be naming their kids anything. So anything could be a word. Yeah, but I could also make any word into a proper noun just by naming my kid it, bro. Like I could, in the same way that anything could be a proper noun, things that are already in the dictionary could also become proper nouns and thus be inadmissible in the world of Scrabble. There's already a word before? Yeah, shit changes, man. J is like the hardest letter to use, man. Jeep. Maybe it's not that hard. All right. Jeep is a proper noun? No, sorry. No, sorry, it's not, because it worked in the game. How did I miss the whole stream on the holiday? Oh, what is it? Canada Day today? I've always wanted to do that, man. Google? Oh, it's a proper noun. Bitch, sorry. It counts. My dad ordered a new Chevy Spark. Thank you, Ludwig. Oh, no, man. The one time a sponsored stream worked, and it was for a Chevy Spark. I mean, I meant what I said on Friday, man. I meant what I said. It's probably the best car you can buy for 15 grand all in, off the lot, new. Not a used Chevy Spark, but it's tough to find a brand new, never before owned automobile for $13,800 these days. So I'll give them that. I mean, straight, I'm not saying it's a bad car. Like, if we're being honest, they're probably making like, they're probably making like $1,000 per Spark. They're selling them pretty close to cost. That's what I'm saying, man. It can be a little bit ass. I mean, like the car was $15,000. What'd you expect, man? Still buy a Corolla over it? Well, Corolla, you're in for like 23 off the lot, right? How much does a Toyota Corolla cost these days? I'm going to start putting these days in my Google searches. $23,900 to $32,000 MSRP depending on trim. I mean, that's, you can get 2 Sparks for that, man. Or for the, if you're going for the hybrid LE trim or the SE with its sportier features. That's actually criminal. You have to be honest if we're talking about inflation, though. I don't mean to be rude. But like, if you're going to complain about the price of food every time you buy food and like grind the inflation axe, You also, anytime you buy a car or a flat screen television, which that's probably like once a week, right? For the average person, you have to say, damn, I remember when these were super expensive. Because like cars, at least sedans, cost the same now as they did when I was watching Price is Right home from school sick in like 1998. A budget new sedan has been like low 20 grand since I was a kid. I mean, MSRP, yeah? What are we doing here? Well, I mean, MSRP. What, have they gotten better at negotiating since then? Like, is it harder to haggle? You're misremembering? Okay. MSRP of Chevy Malibu in 2001. Suggested retail price? I don't know why I said it in the prices range voice. Suggested retail price? Canadian, 22,495 to 24,685. MSRP Chevy Malibu these days. 29,000? What the fuck? They must have made it a lot better. All right, Kate's live. You won't catch me buying a Chevy Malibu anyway. Pagani Zonda MSRP. Damn, dude. Cheap. It's pretty cheap, man. Pretty cheap. Zonda Riviera, 5.88 million. What a strange number. That shit, you only had to get like, I don't even know, like 300,000 kudos in Project Gotham Racing 2 to unlock it. Goodbye. Hello, hello. Just enjoyed a submarine sandwich. Bono, if he sold out. Hello, hello. My foot-long tuna roll. With all ingredients they love to throw, but it's you. Where the meats have no names. Where the meats have no names. I just know that they're made out of pork. Made out of pork. Subway Bloody Sunday. Subway Bloody Subway. It totally works, man. Can't believe the news today. They gave us $5 subs, then took them all away. Yeah, dude, it writes itself. I guess that's a fucked up thing to say when I'm the motherfucker stealing your writing. But so from my perspective, it definitely seems like it's writing itself. In the name of sub, yeah. I'll live in the name of sub. To be placed on my sub. One more olive to be placed on my sub. Something strange sitting in your gut. Who are you gonna call? That Subway. An invisible sub going in your butt. Ow! Who you gonna call? That Subway. I didn't order no sub. That's so true. I am a man who works at Subway. I place the meats my customers ask, and then you come in. He places the meats his customers ask. Subway, I'm listening, by the way. Subway Canada, at least. I am a man of cheese and mayo. Now you're talking. Now you're fucking talking.